salad. And that's the kale that's not that real curly stuff. It's the long leaves. It's much more tender. Great in Caesar salad. It's awesome. We're doing with Honeycrisp apples, golden beets, dried cranberries, pecans, walnuts, and a balsamic vinaigrette inspired by my friend Leah Gaccioni from South and Pine in Morristown, New Jersey. She shared a picture of a salad, and Lynn asked me if I could make it, and I said, okay. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And I also want to let you know, I don't own the rights to this music. So the people at Facebook and all those guys that have your finger on the button getting ready to delete, I don't own the rights to this music. So I just wanted to be very clear about that. All right. So soup. We're going to come over to the stove because that's where I've got it all. And I did a little bit, I started just before we went live. And because it takes about 15 minutes to soften the veggies. And like most soups and a lot of dishes, you start off with aromatics. Aromatics are onions and celery and carrots, and in Louisiana it's green peppers, you know. So I'm not putting any.
We got Foggy.
We got Foggy.
That was pretty funny.
Oh, there we go. So I'm not putting any brown color, no Maillard effect. I don't want these browned at all. I really want them softened. So I've got onions, celery, carrots, saffron, a little cayenne pepper. I didn't have cayenne pepper, so I used my Japanese togarashi chili pepper. Melted a little bit of butter, and I'm just getting them nice and soft, and that's the first part of this. So already the smell of this, absolutely incredible. These are just about there. I'm going to check. And you don't have to worry about cutting the vegetables too fine because this is all going to be blended. So cut them large, you know, just do a nice chop on them. And all these flavors are going right into our soup, which is awesome.
So we've got some good family time out here. We've got
What do we got? Hey, what's up, brother?
And Karen.
You're going to love this soup.
And Sophie.
Nice.
And Ephraim. And Todd earlier said, she what?
She crab soup. I am going to assume they come from female crabs. And I've got, I'm going to show you right now, the jumbo lump. You could make like a crab cocktail out of this stuff, but this I get it in a 1 pound can. It's absolutely beautiful. I gave Swapna a piece. Very sweet, delicious. I love this stuff. This is like the knuckle meat. You can imagine it was a pretty big crab. So we're putting all this crab in there. I also took a ride over to my buddies at Metropolitan Seafood in Lebanon, New Jersey, my friend Mark over there, because this recipe calls for fish stock. I didn't have fish stock, but they make their own, and let me tell you something, stuff's amazing. So you could use shrimp stock in here. I have shrimp stock. You could use lobster stock if you wanted to, but it's really kind of about the crab, so I want a stock that won't mess too much with the crab. You could use a little vegetable stock. It tends to be a little sweet, but I went for the real deal, fish stock, delicious.
I'll say Glenn DiGirolamo loves she crab soup.
What's up, Glenn? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, we've got Kate out there. He's tuning in live from the Hurricane Zeta.
Oh man, buckle up, hunker down. Hopefully you got you know, all the basics, milk, bread, eggs, you know. But my thoughts are with you guys down there. You're getting it hard this year, so we are always thinking of you, for sure. All right, aromatics are done and ready. We're just pouring in our shrimp stock. Gonna raise the temperature. So I want to bring it up to a boil. That is awesome. It's such a great smell of the shrimp stock. Gonna mix it up. You can see that my saffron has turned this baby nice and orange. And we're gonna bring this up to a boil. I got my stove cranking right now.
And Todd made fun of you about you never use a little bit of butter.
No, I used 2 tablespoons. I did use a little bit of butter because we got butter going in at the end. So there's more butter. Uh-oh, she's laughing.
This is awesome.
Yes.
Randy Pollock says, I tend to sleep with the TV on. This morning, I could swear I saw you on an infomercial. Was that you?
Well, indeed you did. That was an infomercial for the Ninja Foodie Grill. It's awesome. Really good. And you know what? It's not so, I'll be honest, not something that I would have bought. They contacted me, they liked me, interviewed me. I did the infomercial, and I got a unit, and I got to tell you, I use it almost every day for different aspects. I once in a while I'll cook a meal. Reheating pizza is awesome, you know, and I use it to make components. Like if I needed roasted vegetables or something, I'd roast them in the Ninja Foodie Grill. It's easy, it works, it's really great. In fact, I sent one to my daughter in Seattle, and she is loving it. So yes, that was indeed me. So
Yes.
we were not dreaming. What a nightmare, huh?
Yeah, but it cracks me up every time a friend will be like, oh my god, did I just see Eric on an infomercial? Yes, you did.
All right, so this is going to come to a boil. So while we're waiting for this, we're going to go back over to the cutting board. I'm going to put together the salad, and I'll talk about the salad a little bit. All right. So here we got our salad. A couple of components. Really very simple, basic salad. So this has the Dinosaur Kale, the Lasitano, nice dark green, really bumpy, will hold all the dressing. It also has Italian radicchio in here, so that's a bitter. You've got a little bit of sweet. That's what's in that's our lettuce mix. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the lettuces with the dressing, and then I'm going to put the things on top of it. So I made a basic balsamic vinaigrette. It's got honey. This is coming up to a boil soon. It's got honey. It's got balsamic vinegar, salt and pepper, a little Dijon mustard, and I used olive oil. And I did it in my magic bullet, and it got really thick and emulsified. That's exactly what you want. So I'm going to just dress the salad. You know, and this is how they would do it in a restaurant. You know, dress the salad in a big bowl. We're going to toss it around a little bit. They might use a gloved hand instead, but we're going with a pair of tongs here. Now this balsamic vinaigrette, it's very potent. So I'm going to kind of add it a little bit at a time until the lettuce is where I want it to be as far as coated. I think I'm almost there. I'll do another little squeeze. And so the bitter lettuce and the really strong balsamic, a little bit sweet, is going to be counterbalanced with the other things that we're adding to this. All right, that looks great. Got our serving bowl. Put it in here, like so. It's a nice little salad here. You know, great with our soup. To this salad, if you want to get a bird's eye, I'm going to add some walnuts. And I've got the walnuts here. Let me turn this down because I just want this to simmer now.
Was it boiling?
Yep, came to a boil. Turning it down to a nice low simmer. It's going to let the fish stock and the aromatics come together. I've got some walnuts and some pecans. I'm going to just give them a little crush with my hand. And that's going to give us a little crunch on this salad. Awesome. I've got some dried cranberries, really nice, plump, juicy cranberries. You could do like this time of year, we've got, what are the red things?
Grapes?
No. Those things.
Apples?
No, the seeds.
Pomegranate.
Pomegranate seeds. Thank you. Brain fart. So pomegranate, you could do pomegranate seeds, but today I just chose to do the cranberries. This is a Honeycrisp apple that I cut really nice and thin. And I'm just going to build my salad instead of dumping it all. Because you know what happens when you dump it all in the bowl? All the big stuff ends up on the bottom. you get nothing on top. And I am going to do a couple of slices. This is a golden beet. I actually did not cook it. It is raw, nice crunch. It's very sweet. And there you go. This is what our side salad is going to be to go along with. If you wanted to, you could do a couple of drops of dressing on top just to make it interesting. I'm going to put a little pepper because I love pepper on my salads. And we'll do a touch of salt because I love salt. All right. Give it a test. See how my folks are going to like it. See if I can go for the perfect bite. A little beets, a little apple, little walnuts in there. There we go. Oh, I lost my apples. It hits all the notes. Sweet, bitter, salty, crunchy. Really good salad. I love it. I think you'll like it too. So I'm going to go back over to the stove. Let's see what we've got in here. The beautiful kind of saffron fish broth. Really looking good. To this broth, I am going to add, actually, I'm going to puree it now. So I'm using, you could do it in a blender. I chose today to do it with my immersion blender. This thing does a great job.
I love that blender.
And you want to make sure your carrots are all blended up.
He almost asked me to make this recipe.
Really?
Yep. So
Great minds think alike.
it's on his mind. And you can say hello to Sophie, and Sophie said hello to Swapnod. So
It's like one big happy family. Here, the Grateful Chef family.
and Ethan commented on your salad, but of course it's salad.
Nice, thanks, Ethan. So, yeah, these immersion blenders are great because obviously I'm doing it, you know, on the stove. It's still hot. You know, whenever you blend a hot liquid, you always run the risk of burning yourself because, hey, you first have to dump it into the cup for the blender, and then whenever you turn the blender on, man, you run the risk of it jumping up because it is hot, and it could be really dangerous. So this is a better idea. You might get a little bit more fine in a blender, but for tonight, we're going rustic.
I like it.
Nice. All right, I'm going to call that blended. Turn it down a little bit. Good. So far, this is looking awesome. All right. I love this blender because it comes apart. I can wash this, and I can put that back in the drawer. A beautiful thing. All right, next. So, you're going to stir in some half and half. You certainly could use heavy cream here, but it doesn't need it. So this is 2 cups of half and half. This is my friend Ephraim, who was chatting with us before, his favorite soup to make. All right, look at that beautiful golden color.
That is beautiful.
I'm going to bring that up to a boil. You just want to heat it up. You want to heat that half and half through. All right. Going to bring it back up to a boil. Now, interesting technique here. This is how we're going to thicken our soup. So I have about a quarter cup of flour in here, and this is 2 tablespoons of softened butter. That's going in the bowl. And with my very clean hand, I'm going to knead the butter with the flour.
Can I see it?
Yep, I'm going to break it up. You know, it's a little sticky now, but the butter will pick up all this flour. And remember, it's softened butter. You can't do this with butter straight out of the fridge.
Efren said he sometimes uses coconut milk instead of the cream to lighten it up a bit.
That's a good idea, and it adds a different flavor to it. Yeah, coconut crab. Not a bad thing.
Swap is giving the thumbs up.
Swap gave me the thumbs up. Alright, so we've made a paste from the butter and the flour, and you can see it really picked up all that flour. This one is a little more blended. Alright. Take it off my fingers. Back into the bowl. And I'm going to wash my hands.
And I see my sister peeking in too.
Nice. What's up, Karen?
It is family night.
Hopefully anybody new who's seeing this show for the first time, say hello, chime in. You're all immediately part of the family. This has come to a boil. I am lowering it down to a simmer. Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my whisk and I'm going to gather up this paste as much as I can onto this whisk. Like so.
So there are
Picked
times
it up
I wish you were right-handed.
all off the bowl.
Yep.
And I am going to whisk it into our soup. Now what's happening here? So, sort of like a roux, you've got fat and flour. You've combined the fat and flour together. And what happens is the butter surrounds the flour molecules, and that helps it disperse evenly without lumps into your soup. And I can see already that it's gotten a little thicker. It's going to add to the mouthfeel of the soup. It's going to be nice and velvety. There we go. Gorgeous. All right. Now we're going to stir in. We're in the home stretch now, guys. Now we're going to add some additional flavor. Additional flavor to our soup. We are going to add in, I want to go back to my list, give you the right amounts. 2 tablespoons of cognac.
Oh, that's always my favorite.
Flavor, right? We're doing a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. It's going to give a little color and some flavor. And that is it. What is this? I forgot what that is. A little soy sauce.
Is that for this recipe?
No. Bring that up to just a little before you can get it nice and thick.
Wow, that is looking really thick.
Yep, you can see, you know what we always do. Does it hold the line? Holds the line nice and thick. Gonna just warm it through. I want to check and see because I was doing 3 recipes at once today, so this soy sauce is obviously for something else. All right, and I'm going to put in our crab meat. That you just want to warm through. You can obviously, you don't have to use this jumbo lump crab.
What about like the can of crab that you get at the grocery store?
You certainly could use that.
Like in the tuna aisle.
Yes. I'm going to keep some back because that we're just going to sit on top of our soup as a garnish, so to speak here. So, and I'm going to try not to break it up too much but it's not a bad idea to have some, break off. So I don't want to mash it. I'm just going to let what naturally will fall off to fall off. Nice.
Ephraim said no soy sauce in this one. Just as a confirmation. And,
Thank you.
And I don't know if Kevin's reference to add MSG was in reference to the soy sauce, or if it was just a regular reference to add MSG.
I'm not going to add MSG to this. Doesn't need it. I've got the flavors that naturally occur in all my high-end ingredients.
And my cognac.
Nice.
So what's funny is that...
But just to be clear, I am a fan of MSG.
And my cognac went from the liquor cabinet into Eric's cooking arsenal.
That's
instead.
right.
So it changed cabinets. Now it's much closer to the
Correct.
stove.
All right. I just want to see a couple of little bubbles here, and we're going to plate. It's awesome. All right. Let's do it. Meet me over at the drawing board. Plate up one. Beautiful. Done. Alright, using my apron because I don't have another towel.
Dan Oven said that looks amazing.
Oh, it smells incredible.
I'm so excited.
I'll take this over like a lobster bisque any day. Alright. Let's plate up a portion. So an 8-ounce ladle. Doing it in a nice shallow bowl. A little bit more because we can.
And it's dinner.
And it is dinner. I'm going to garnish it with some chives that I took out of our garden just moments before going live.
So you're doing a kind of bigger cut.
Yep.
That looks beautiful.
And there seems to be enough lumps of crab on there, but we're going to go with some extra because what's going to be really cool is you're going to get some temperature contrast, which is really nice with this soup. I'll do one more. And there we go, guys. That is our she crab soup. My spoon here.
And Alex McFarland said that's a beautiful meal. I agree.
I already know I'm good for 2 bowls of this. All right. Here we go. It just smells like crab. This is absolutely perfect. Doesn't need any salt. You taste the crab, you taste the saffron, which is incredible. The fish stock is key because it just blends with it. You don't taste it separately from everything else. But this is absolutely stunning. Using half and half makes it a little lighter. It's a great soup.
John Fink asked he said he was a big fan of crab soup, and he asked if there was roe in there.
There is not roe in here. You certainly could garnish with a little roe on top. Have your way with it. Have fun. I used cognac. You could use maybe a little Pernod instead if you don't mind that kind of anise flavor. That would be good too. And you know what? You could probably do this, the base kind of recipe, and use lobster if you wanted to make it a lobster, a she lobster soup, whatever. Anyway.
And that could come with roe.
Yes, could come with roe. I love getting female lobsters because it's like, you know what I was saying, getting 250,000 lobsters for the price of one. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Again, if you were new, hopefully you chimed in and you'll join us again here almost every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, in the Grateful Chef Kitchen. Be well, eat well, be kind, go vote. And remember, I